Okay. So next question. How to forgive the unforgivable to heal? I mean, that's a big one. I was there. You're being told that there are certain things that are unforgivable. And we get so damaged, so hurt. We just can't imagine. We're so angry. And then of course you're angry because of what happened. And you keep telling yourself that you're angry because of what happened. And you keep relying on that. And anytime you slip, even if you're trying to look at things better and be better, you just keep going back to it because it's a comfortable thing to blame. Not to blame yourself because you're struggling and making mistakes, trying to figure things out for yourself, which is all part of the process. The unforgivable, the other thing that you're looking at is that unforgivable, and how do you get past it, or how can you forgive it? Is that's when you have to understand um, what's going on with you. If you don't forgive it, you're going to stay right where you're at. You might have some happier times, or you might get distracted by a new relationship for a while, or new job, or whatever can bring a little light into your life, and you feel loved, and those things aren't pushing in. But as soon as things get stressful, as soon as things get hard in your life, as soon as things, guess what's going to come up? Okay, it's not going to be something pleasant. It's going to be that monster that you're not forgiven, all that anger, all those things, and you're going to fall right into that cycle with this new relationship, new career, new environment you've moved into, whatever. And that's a killer. That is why you have, this is the self-care savage mentality you have to get into. The self-care, you've got to tap in. You've got to cognitive behavioral therapy. You've got to go back, look at these things, understand how they're affecting you, so you can move forward. You've got to do the work on this. And guess what? It's gonna hurt. And from the time you start, the kind of hurt you're going to feel is only going to get worse until it starts to get better. So again, it's that whole thing about working out we've talked about, and all these, working this new mindset, trying to develop this new mindset, like you're trying to develop a new body or whatever you're trying to do. You got to get to the pain. You got to get that rep number 12 where you're hurting, and then the work gets done between 12 and 15. That's, those, and there's no way around it. There's no magic pill. There's nothing. You have to do the work. And y'all know what I talk about around that. And you can draw on that, or there's lots of other avenues to do that. But you have to do the work. It can be done, and it should be done, and you deserve for it to be done. It's not for them. It's for you. You're not, my monster, some of mine are dead. So me forgiving them, what was the point? I've had people actually say it to me. What was the point? They're dead. Well, it was for me. You know. Okay. Next question. This will bleed into some other things, of course. Most of them do, but overcoming sorrow. So sorrow, sadness, despair. These are all things that are part of depression, and all these things that deaden your soul, so to speak, that keep you, that whole thing we talked about, settling for less than you deserve, and you stay in these states where you never give yourself an opportunity to feel some joy, to feel some happiness, to feel some peace. And that sorrow can come from losing someone, whether it's through a death or just through a breakup, or a parent and a child. It can come in many, many forms and attached to many, many things. And again, it goes down to where exactly is it coming from for you. This is always going to tie in this finding out. You can't go look at this sorrow and understand it, who's involved in it, if anybody, or if it's just you, circumstances, whatever it could be, and then dealing with it. Again, reconciling that, understanding it. It's over. There's nothing you can do about it. It's not going to hurt you, or it's not going to hurt you anymore. All those things that you need to go through to get to help you where you are today to move forward. Okay. Next question. How to overcome personal loss. So when most people are talking about personal loss, they're talking about a death. They are talking about a breakup. They are talking about something that's a relationship type. For whatever reason, it's that big loss. It's gone away. There's a couple of things with this. You know, with for example, with death, if you're really struggling with grief and you're struggling with feeling like this was such an anchor in your life, or where a lot of your identity came from and all that, those are good things. This is an opportunity to understand that connection. And there's two things to do with it. Is how is that going to help you move forward? How what was that connection? Was maybe are you relying, did you rely too much on that? Because remember, people are going to come and go in your life. You're going to be the only one there. And you have to be able to deal with those things so you can continue to move forward. Because it is part of life, as harsh as that may sound to some people. This is part of life. The other thing is with death. One of the things that I really believe, and as a lot of people ask these questions and talked about it, and I hear these things, and I've done a lot of research on it, but I've read a lot about it and things like that. I would really like for there to be more narrative and more promotion, and instead of, because you have to, certainly you're going to go through grief. Look, somebody could be very important. I mean, that partner in your life or whatever, it could be a shock. Most of the time, heavy grief, it's a shock. It's not like somebody was, had gotten sick or something and died over a year's period of time. There's a lot you're able to work through during that. But if it's sudden, whatever else that has grief like that, obviously that person was important. Where is the part for you to be grateful for that time you had with this person, for that amazing person you're grieving over that was a big influence for you, that did teach you all these things, that was an anchor for you? I think what gets missed is a lot of this focusing on all this ugliness maybe around it versus, oh God, thanks whoever, or just thank your something. Be grateful that this amazing person had this amazing impact on you. And there are so many people that never had that opportunity. And I think a lot of times that funerals and even breakups that are really big, that could be just because people grow apart, especially older people grow apart. People don't realize that when you're older, there's a lot of things you didn't sign up for. You didn't sign up for all these health appointments, and you didn't sign up for that person, starting to get saggy and old. These things you start thinking, well, I don't want this anymore. You may love them and you had a great time in your life, and it was a period, but you start going through that. And I don't know why I got off on that. Anyways, babe. Okay, so next question. I want to hear about how I can stop and wake up from my negative thought about myself. Well, you're using thought. I'm assuming you're meaning thoughts, but it could be just that one thought. But so my anxiety, I've talked about this a lot, and my demons and all those things always attacked when I wake up first thing in the morning. In fact, I feel like a lot of times before I'm actually awake, they've already done some damage in me. So I get that. It's tough waking up, starting off your day like that. And this is where it's very important to put into place. And I know I keep harping on this. I probably should get them to the Cognitive Behavioral Therapy Association to start paying me for this, but I just believe in this. Cognitive behavioral therapy, thought pattern interruption. That's how you start killing the negative thoughts. And I don't use words like stop them or make friends with them or dance with them or do whatever. You're with your demons and your negative voice and your forget all that. The goal here as a self-care savage is to kill them. Okay, is to work to get them in a place where they go away. And so thought pattern interruption, cognitive behavioral therapy, do whatever research you want on it. But anytime you have a negative thought in your head, which again, I'm with you, I wake up in the morning the same way, you immediately attack it and smother it with positives until it's gone. You don't stop. You don't just neutralize it. No, it's still there and you kill it. It's not done. This is the only way to push through this. And you have to do it. You have to discipline yourself to do it. You have to be stronger. You have to be, look, I can't tell you how hard it was for me to come up with positives to say this negative because I was agreeing with them at the time. You're right. You have to push through that. The only way to do that is you kind of go hard on yourself. It's the self-care savage stuff. You've got to go hard. You've got to do whatever triggers that. Get your journal out. Start dumping this out of your head. Asking yourself the questions so you can help connect the dots going forward, understanding exactly where it comes from. Whose voice is it? Whatever. It's not just as simple as like I'm first putting it out, thought pattern interruption. There's work around it to get to where you're good at it. Look, they're already good at it. Those voices in your head, they're good at it. They've done it to you all your life. Look, you can't even wake up in the morning without them just coming at you. And do they stop? Do they ever stop? Do they go, okay, enough, we're just kidding, you're actually okay, guy, and move on with the day? Absolutely not. They do not stop. And you have to understand you can't stop. So start off right off the bat, burying them. Start developing some techniques and some tools to use. The journaling, the connecting the dots. The definitely work on the thought pattern interruption. Never let it slide. Understand this is that part of the self-care savage process. This disrupts your life. What you've decided to do is something has been affecting you so much. It's led you to poor behaviors, decisions, your low self-worth, that all contributes to that because all that continues to happen. It was important enough for you to ask me to talk about it. That's because it's affecting you. So you got to go at it and understand you may have to clear the deck with people in your life that contribute to that. If you want to heal, you can't heal where you're, no, let's forget about that. It's another subject. If you want to heal, you have to go hard on it, and it's going to disrupt your life. You have to change your life. It's like you've become, 600 pounds, and the doctor's told you you're going to die in a year, and you've got to your life becomes about physically moving and eating the right foods. So now you have to start digesting the right things into your brain constantly so you can bury these thoughts, and you have to work on it every day. Non-negotiable. No more of all these things that contribute to it. And the way you find it is, again, the journaling and going through these things. I'm repeating myself a lot. This is very important. Okay? You can't play around with this. So it's important enough to ask this question. So it's important enough for you to get it.